Hello and welcome to The Round So Far, brought to you by Amy. I'm Josh Gabelich, this is Riley Beveridge, and behind us is the beautiful Adelaide Oval, where Melbourne is clearly the big story after slumping to 0-5 to start 2025.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. They are clearly the big story of Gather Round so far. It's great to be in South Australia. 0-5 for the first time since 2012, the Dees. The pressure well and truly ramping up on that man there, Simon Goodwin. And it was the same old story for Melbourne tonight. They're good players, just weren't good enough on the night. They've got so many players out of form. We're about to see some vision of that as well. They turned the ball over so much across the course of the evening.
The turnovers, costly again. Same old story for Melbourne, who, as you touched on, 0-5, such a long road back here to play finals, and so much focus now on Simon Goodwin going forward.
Yeah, there are. I mean, look at these ones we're seeing there. The ball just slips through Jack Viney's hands on that occasion. Stephen May drops a really relatively uneasy, uncontested mark, and Nick Martin slides in and kicks the goal. That was at a crucial juncture of the game. Christian Petrarca, superstar of the competition. How many times have we seen him kick that goal and he just misses on that occasion? And then Max Gawn, this was the real exclamation point on the night. These are their senior, experienced players. Too many of them are simply just out of form as things stand. So that's been the story behind their 0-4 start to the year. I mean, there's been a couple of players that have stood up and impressed. I thought Jake Bowie's probably been their best and most consistent player throughout the course of the season, but they shouldn't be having to rely on the Jake Bowies. It should be the Petrarcas and the Olivers and the Vineys and the Gawns that are bringing them home, and too often than not right now they're not.
Dylan Shields been a huge talking point for years. He's endured a really tough few years in terms of his body, in terms of his fitness. Played a lot of VFL footy last year. Always so much focus on him in October. Will he stay? Will he go?
Yeah.
But tonight he produced one of his best games for Essendon.
Well, they started him across half back to start the year, and then they've shifted that around over the last couple of weeks. Goes through the midfield today, 30 disposals, 8 clearances, 1 goal. I mean, they need more midfield bodies. We know the setbacks that Darcy Parish has had to start the season. Of course, he's going to miss another extended period as well with that injury that he suffered earlier this week upon his return to training. So they need another body through that midfield. Dylan Shield could be this man. Showed that explosive pace, which he had at his best at Greater Western Sydney. He hasn't been able to demonstrate that enough at Essendon, but kicked another classy goal as well. And he was one of the guys that was driving Essendon today. Jai Menzies, another one, kicked 4 goals. These are the lesser lights that we haven't seen enough of for Essendon over the last couple of years, standing up and producing a really big win for them. I know the big story is Melbourne, but this is impressive from Essendon. I think they've been mostly competitive across the course of the season. They got that really good win a couple of weeks ago as well, but even their first game of the season, they lost to Hawthorn. They were competitive in that one, and they were competitive again tonight and managed to get the win, which they deserved.
Nick Bryan, the injury concern here for the Bombers. He was subbed out in the first quarter with a knee issue. Was on crutches post-game. He'll get scans across the next 24 hours to find out the severity of that.